And so, you mentioned CPU is the most important thing, and it definitely is. What about like RAM and graphics cards? Like, does streaming have a direct effect on these parts? And you know, like if so, like how should streamers look to buy for these parts?
So with the CPUs, one important thing to note, especially if you're building a secondary PC, there's only you don't need a graphics card, right? You're only going to be using it just for encoding. The thing about that though is if your CPU has onboard graphics, which not all do. So the extreme CPU chipsets from Intel and above do not have onboard graphics. Most of the AMDs don't. But the 8700K that I was talking about earlier, the 7700K, 6700K, whatever it might be before, those all do have onboard graphics, which is great because you save yourself a lot of money there already. You don't have to buy a GPU at all. You just do the onboard graphics. You get yourself a capture card, perfect for secondary PC. When it comes to doing a single PC setup, the CPU is very important. But then, of course, you got to know what games are you playing, what games are you running. Are they super high
Mm-hmm.
intensity? Those triple A titles that are very GPU intensive, in which case, and you got to start looking at the graphics cards and which ones to go with. I'm with Tim. I love NVIDIA. I'm an NVIDIA fanboy as well. The awesome part, those 10 series cards that they released are across the board just amazing. The higher models like the 1080, the Titan, the 1080 Ti, those you don't even need especially if you're gaming on 1080p. You can get away with a 1060, 1070 would be like the max best, and 1060 or even a 1050 Ti, extremely affordable, extremely inexpensive, and will run most games at 1080p over 60 FPS, which is what the sweet spot that you're looking for a gaming PC. For RAM, I think at this point, at this day and age, 16 gigabytes is like the minimum. You should consider that the minimum. A lot of people still do 8 gigabytes and they find themselves struggling and programs loading slower. And you don't want to go that route. Just do yourself the favor, spend the 50 extra bucks on the build, get yourself an extra 8 gigs, and do the 16 gigabytes of RAM.
Mm-hmm.
I know.